Hi, Margaret. Hello, my friend. How are you today?
Hi Sharon, I'm great. And you?
Pretty good, actually. I was just talking about how hot it is in here because we've got a storm happening in New Zealand at the moment. But look, we're just talking once again. We're about to welcome you back to New Zealand in October as we, I guess, kick off the first leg of your overseas tour. So you're actually there's two classes that you're facilitating at the moment, aren't there? And one's called Having Your Cake and Eating It, and of course the other one is a 3-day body class. So I was just wondering, could you talk to us a little bit about each and how they actually relate to each other?
Sure. So the Happy Your Cake and Eating It Too class came about from the first book that I've just had published of the same title. And from that, I've actually now written workshops, and the book is about creating choice and generating from new possibilities. So it's opening people up to get them out of the groundhog day of being depressed and bored into, wow, what else would I like to have as my creative generative life? So it's really giving people tools and techniques to have so much more. Actually, I was just talking to someone earlier today and was saying that in all the years that I have been facilitating through different modalities, the one thing I've always noticed is how much people really have no concept of what it is that they would truly like to have as their generative life. So for me, that was really the inspiration to write this book, to actually open people to, wow, what would I really like to have, and to continue to be creative. So from that, then it opens it into the willingness to include the body in that. So one of the Access Consciousness core classes is the 3-day body class. So from that, creating a communion with your body is what allows you to have so much more show up in your life.
Awesome. And so I really love the name of your book. Do you have it at all by you so we can have a wee look at the cover or the physicality of it? Your book.
I just forgot to bring it. Sorry.
Well, that's okay. I just wanted to point out that, a lot of people who listen to the title of the class, Having Your Cake and Eat It Too, automatically may go into the concept that they're just going to be having more cake and eating it too, or, they could be totally misidentifying and misapplying it as, there's so many points of view around having your cake and eating it too, isn't there? But really, it's about hedonism, and there's also some interesting points of view around hedonism. Can you just talk a little bit to that?
Well, the
Hedon.
subtitle of the book is The Hedonist Guide to Opulent, Decadent and Orgasmic Living. And it's interesting because as I was actually doing the research for the book, and I was even literally looking up the meanings of hedonism, opulence, decadence, liveliness, orgasmic living, and most of these words and the meanings of these words have been deemed as a wrongness in this reality. Hedonism is something that, how dare you be a hedonist, where really the literal meaning of hedonism is finding the joy and the pleasure in everything. And for what reason would you make that wrong? For what reason would you not be willing to see the joy and the pleasure in everything, regardless of what that is, and regardless of whether it costs you money or not? And it's the same with decadence. It's really interesting. Decadence is being willing to be immoral, to have immoral behaviour, and how many people would see that as terribly bad and wrong, where really all it is the willingness to be judged. And how many of us hide ourselves from people's judgments? How many of us aren't willing to show up in the world for fear that we will be judged? And what if it doesn't have to be that? What if we're willing to receive all energies and not have a point of view of anything, just be willing to show up as you, keep choosing what works for you?
Cool. So in that I'm hearing that, going back to your initial, the start of the conversation when you were talking about people coming out of depression, that was really key to what you're just saying now about coming out of judgment, because that seems to be the place to unlock the limitation to actually step into more of a hedonism and more into, I guess, the vitality of living and the pleasure of and the joy of, you know, choosing those delicious things that people think are immoral.
Mm-hmm.
So where can we find your book, Margaret?
Well, the book will be available on Amazon, also Barnes & Noble, and in the Access Consciousness shops also. And we are looking to have an Australian distributor as well. So eventually we'll be available in Dymocks in Australia and Newslink.
Fantastic. Okay, well, we're really excited. We can't wait, and we're so stoked that you're visiting us again in such a short time frame. I know some people in the South Island are really, well, not the South Island, the middle of the North Island are really looking forward to seeing you down there as well. And so for all of you out there who are just a bit tired of ordering off the set menu of life, come into contact with Margaret Braunack, and she will show you how to tap into this smorgasbord of this adventure called life. So we can direct them to your page on the Access website, yeah?
Absolutely, and I look forward to playing and gifting people the tools and techniques to get them out of Groundhog Day and out of the boredom and the depression into a life that is fun, joyful, and expansive, and just bringing and being that energy of so much more that is an incredible invitation to others to choose more also.
Well, Margaret, I'm looking forward to seeing you and reading the book. In fact, I probably could have done with that book a couple of days ago.
So I've been rereading it myself to get more.
So anyway, thanks again, my friend, and we're really looking forward to it, and thanks for joining us on the Google Hangout today.
Thanks, Sharon.
Bye-bye.
It's been a pleasure. Bye.